does that change how you guys can call a game once you add in packages? Knowing that you like to use 9 receivers in a game, 8 receivers in a game, now that you feel like you maybe have a little bit more depth there, how much more does that change what you do in a game?
I mean, I think it changes a lot. Again, I've said this before, we get to use everybody's skill sets. But, time will tell. I mean, I say we have 8 or 9. I don't know that yet. We got to get through a game here with some of these youngsters and see exactly what they can handle. I think I have a pretty good idea, but when the lights come on and it's for real, we'll find out if we can do that and limit maybe some packages for some guys and kind of hopefully by week 3, 4, or 5, right in that mid-range, we have a pretty good idea.
Do you feel like that's more options right now than you did have last year?
Oh yeah, absolutely. At least we have some guys with some dimensional skill sets. We have some guys that can do a lot of different things. I've said this before. We asked Marquez to do everything last year. We limited Pig on some of the things he could do. We asked Marquez to do everything because we didn't have another option. And we couldn't have been. We didn't want to be that vanilla. We had to play some football at the same time. But now I think we can move guys around and kind of use their skill sets and make them more successful.
With Pig, just talk about the transformation, even in fall camp, how far he's come. I mean, we've seen him. He wasn't playing with the ones at the very beginning of camp. Now he's in there getting reps. Just how much have you seen him grow and just continue to get better?
Well, I've said this before. He had a lot to prove, a lot to earn back, a lot of trust. Some things between me and him that he had to do, and he's done everything we've asked him to this point. And he came out and had a great training camp. Great training camp. Not a good one, a great one. And it's a tribute to him. I mean, just all the habits that he finally realizes are important that make him a big-time player are starting to come out. Everything from being the first guy out in the field, whereas last year he was last. Those things are all starting to transform in every part of his game. Now he's just got to be consistent with it and keep it up. And the sky's the limit for him if he can do that.
How does it help the younger guys that are trying to come along, guys like Josh and Vic, that you have other guys with experience that play those larger roles?
It's huge. It makes my life a lot easier because the expectations bleed down. It's last year it was me telling everyone what to do. Now before I can tell someone what to do, the older guys are helping them. I say older guys have been here a year, but at least expectations are bleeding down. The more that happens, the better football team will be.
The fact that they've played a year with Justin as well, how much does that help the receivers that they have more familiarity with the quarterback that's throwing them the football now as well?
I think it helps Justin. I still don't know if it helps us as much just because we're just trying to do our job. We're still learning the nuances of the position. I'm telling you right now, they don't know who's back there half the time in practice. They're just so worried about, I don't say worried about, but so focused on doing their job, doing it the right way, and painting good pictures for the quarterback. I don't think it matters as much for us. For the quarterbacks, I'm sure it matters because they learn each guy's nuances out there, who comes out of a break differently, what guys like the ball where. Those kinds of things I think Justin's probably learning now about all the wideouts because he's getting more reps as the one quarterback. Whereas us, we're still trying to, make sure we do our job and help whoever's in there.
What difference do you see from Justin in terms of just leadership, understanding, and being comfortable with commanding everything within the offense?
A ton. Justin's taken a great leadership role now. Now that he's got command, he jogs in there with the ones. He gets on guys for maybe a drop pass, not finishing, missed assignment, whatever. Now he's able to go voice his opinion more because he's directly, involved in that play. So I think it's been good. I think our younger guys look at him a little bit different now because he's got a little bit different look to him because he's taking command of the one huddle.
Yeah, how important is that for the offense? What does that do for them that he is more comfortable speaking out now?
I think it's huge. I think everyone wants the bell cow in there. Everyone wants the guy to kind of rally the troops, tell them what to do, look to him when maybe things are struggling, and the great thing about Justin is he's got a lot of experience. I mean, he came in and beat South Carolina last year. He's played a lot of football here. It's not like he just won the job and has never played and trying to be a leader. He's got some clout. He's been in the battles, so that helps him command those younger guys.
Yeah, so that helps guys trust him, that they've seen him play well against Georgia and beat South Carolina.
Absolutely. It's easier to say something when he's been in the fire. He's taken that hit and delivered that ball. He can say something, he can speak up to maybe those young guys that haven't played a snap yet in a game. So he carries some more clout for sure.
Good deal, thanks.
Are you starting to settle on a rotation of any type?
Yes and no. We're still got, guys coming back full speed, maybe with some some dings and bruises and things like that. Now that we're getting into game week and kind of seeing what guys can push past, 5, 6, 7 plays in a row, kind of getting a feel for that way. What guys I can still trust more than 2 or 3 plays in a row. So I'm still a work in progress. It really is.
I guess I probably know the answer to this, but do you have too many guys? I know last year you were so short on depth. Is it ever a challenge to kind of figure out, getting enough snaps for everybody?
No, not when you go so fast. You can't have enough great receivers in this offense. You can't. If you're great, we're gonna get you the ball.